Venus Blindfolding Cupid by Workshop or follower of Titian, a mythological allegory of love and marriage. Venus Blindfolding Cupid by Workshop or follower of Titian is a fascinating painting that depicts a scene from classical mythology, where Venus, the goddess of love and beauty, blindfolds her son Cupid, the god of desire, while another sun and two nymphs watch. The painting is a mythological allegory of love and marriage, which may have been commissioned or acquired to celebrate a wedding. The painting shows Venus sitting on a ledge, with her body slightly turned to our right and her head turned to our left, gazing into the distance with brown eyes under thick brows. She wears a jeweled headpiece over her upswept, honey-blonde hair, and delicate ringlets frame her brow. Her cheeks are tinged with dusty rose pink, and she has a long nose and a ruby red, bow mouth. She wears an amber yellow gown trimmed with white lace at the neckline. The short sleeve we can see is slashed to reveal cream white fabric puffing out of the openings. A wide, gold chain inset with gleaming pale aquamarine blue jewels the size of thumbprints drapes over her far shoulder and across her chest like a sash. She wears a pearl necklace and teardrop-shaped earrings, and more pearls and gems adorn the gold bracelets on her wrists. In front of her, with his back to us, stands one of her sons, Cupid, the god of desire, who is usually depicted as a winged child with a bow and arrows. He holds an arrow in his left hand, which he rests on the chocolate-brown cloth draped across Venus's lap. He turns his head to the right, and his face is partially obscured by one of his small, charcoal grey and cream-white wings. Venus holds two ends of an off-white cloth tied around his head as a blindfold, symbolizing the blindness of love. On the opposite side of Venus, to our left, stands another sun, who may be Anteros, the god of requited love, who is often shown as a counterpart or rival of Cupid. He leans one hand and his chin on Venus's shoulder and gazes off to our right. He has chestnut brown hair and eyes, and a round nose in a pudgy face. He has small, silver wings and a sash of golden yellow hangs from one shoulder around the opposite hip. The right side of the painting is cut away, leaving only a fragmentary figure visible from the hip up, who fills the height of the composition but is mostly cropped by the right edge. We see the left arm, shoulder, and edge of the hip as they stand with their back to us. The arm we can see is raised to hold what appears to be a metal bowl. This figure may have been one of the two nymphs who lean in toward Venus and the Cupids in the original version of the painting by Titian, which is now in the Galleria Borghese, Rome. The nymphs may be Dory and Armilla, who were associated with Venus in some myths. The background features a cranberry red drapery that hangs from the upper left corner and falls in cascading folds behind the figures. An azure blue sky with tan clouds is visible beyond the drapes, creating a contrast with the warm colors of the foreground. The painting is rich in artistic features, with a detailed figure and a simple background. The painting is influenced by Titian, one of the most influential and versatile painters of the 16th century, who was known for his use of color, light, and detail, as well as his ability to convey the psychological and emotional aspects of his subjects. He was renowned for his portraits, religious paintings, mythological scenes, and landscapes. He had a long and prolific career, working for various patrons, including the Holy Roman Emperor Charles V, King Philip II of Spain, and Pope Paul III. He was admired and emulated by other masters, such as Veronese, Tintoretto, and Rubens. He died in Venice in 1576. The painting is also intriguing in its meaning, as it is a mythological allegory of love and marriage, which may have been painted or acquired to celebrate a marriage. The two Cupids may represent Eros and Anteros, both sons of Venus, but symbols of contrasting aspects of love, the blind and sensuous, and the clear-sighted and virtuous. In this context, scholars tend to interpret Venus as a deity overseeing marital love and conjugal chastity. The painting may also reflect the ideals of courtly love, which was popular in the Renaissance, where love was seen as a noble and refined sentiment that inspired virtue and honor. The painting may also have a moral message, warning against the dangers of lust and vanity, which could be represented by the blindfolded Cupid and the mirror held by the nymph in the original version. Venus blindfolding Cupid by workshop or follower of Titian, c. 1566-1570 or c. 1576-1580, is not only a stunning visual representation of a mythological scene, but also a portrait of a mythological allegory of love and marriage and a masterpiece of Renaissance art.